speaking of questions, Karen, let's open it up for some Q&A. Submit, folks, any question you have in the chat box right now, and then if we need to, we can also handle some uh, live questions. Okay.
We've got some questions that have already come through while we were doing the presentation. Great job, by the way, Bill. One was, do you enter the numbers manually?
Yes and no. The system is built with the initial foundation. What are your current account balances? But then as you go through the month and you spend money, you buy gas at the at the gas station, yes, you come back to the Money Max and you tell it, what did you just do? That's the standard. We do offer an automated process using Yodely. They're a third-party vendor that has connections with 14,000 different financial institutions out there, and they can be set up to download transactions into your Money Max account overnight. And a lot of people find that helpful. If that's something you do, and your agent will talk to you about this, we have a process, and you can, once you have the Money Max up and running, you can figure out how to do that, order it, and get it up and running. Don't do that. Stop, time out, call into the home office, the training support, and say, hey, I'm interested in that account connect. Can I have a 30-day free trial? Yes, you can, they'll tell you. And can I have an appointment with somebody to show me how to set it up and use it properly? Yes, you can. So free 30-day, free coaching. Do it that way to see if it works for you and you like it. And after 30 days, if you don't like it for whatever reason, no harm, no foul. Cancel. Boom. It's that simple. So the answer to, do I have to do it manually? Yes, but not really. Does that help? I sound like a
Excellent.
politician, don't I? Yes, but not really. Okay, sorry.
Several people have asked, how does this work with velocity banking?
It is velocity banking. Velocity banking is the concept of partnering a checking account with an offset account. An offset account is a financial instrument that is designed to crush the effects of interest on the debt structure. The first version of it, checking and a first position HELOC, invented back in 95. We came out with, when we saw that, that was one of the inspirations behind the whole Money Max account. We saw it, we liked it, but two things: no technology, no automated banking thinking, right? And number two, it was a variable interest rate. So you could do some serious financial harm if you took a client's all of their debt, put it in that first position, and if interest rates moved against them, that's not a good outcome. That's why we went with the HELOC on our first go around. Worked well until it didn't. August of 2008. Banks froze, all HELOCs, and that's when we came out with the third variation, checking and savings account. And that has worked fantastic. So if you have just a checking and a savings, that's it. You don't have to have a line of credit or a HELOC. Those are good tools to have for sure, but a checking and savings works. And then the fourth version was partnering checking and a high cash value life insurance policy to not only pay down debt, but to build wealth long term. So we invented three of the four. Yes, it is velocity banking.
Super. Several people are asking about the cost.
The cost? It's free. Oh, I got your attention, didn't I? Come on, you can't expect
Got mine.
Free. In general, when you go through the process to find out what your guaranteed debt-free date in that 2-page report, you're going to find out how much time we save you, how much money we save you, and yes, what the one-time investment is. That's kind of a nebulous answer, so let me kind of draw it down because we don't really know for sure. But let's say hypothetically you're a homeowner, okay? So, and the proposition is this: if I could show you a way using the Money Max to knock just 5 years off of your total debt payoff time, 5 years, 60 mortgage payment, is it worth trading 1 or 2, possibly 3 mortgage payments to save 60? Is that a fair trade? If you talk to Deb, I bet she'll say, yeah, it is. Remember, she went from 12 and a half years. She's now down to 3.5. Give me a thumbs up on that, Deb. Was it 3.5? 3.4. Right in there, right? Okay. So that's, but you'll know beforehand before you make any investment, before you spend dime one. And we have a different pricing structure. If you have under 80,000 and no mortgage, it's less. If you have more than in the what the platinum is up to three mortgages. But if you're an investor, we go all the way up to 100 and plus mortgages. Can you imagine what they're saving? And so we cover the spectrum. The bottom line is you will find value. Some people know the price of everything. I get that. But if you really think about what the value is, lifetime ownership, free upgrades, lifetime training support, as you work on your journey towards becoming debt free, that's guaranteed. When you log in, you see it right there on your dashboard. This is quite the value package.
Super, thank you. Why do people say we shouldn't pay off our mortgage because it helps with income tax?
Because they haven't heard of the Money Max? How about that? Okay, so technically, it's not so much that, oh, I get a deduction on my taxes. Okay, so you spend $1 and you get 70 cents back. How long would you do that? That's not a good trade. There is something to be said that the deduction might keep you in a lower tax bracket. That's probably few and far between. For most people, it's much better to keep all of your money in your pocket. That's what the Money Max is striving for. And so, like we showed in the slide earlier, oh, I have a low mortgage, 3%. Well, it's not really 3%. It's 59% is the amount of interest that you're paying with each debt. So what's the deal? Well, the deal is the sooner you can get out of debt and stop paying needless interest, that's money that you get to save. And that's the whole point. Hold on to more of your money.
Question that was asked in the chat. Does the program help to increase/repair credit score? And can I qualify the program if we have defaulted on some of our credit card debt already?
With respect to credit score, we don't make any promises, but the concept is if your debt load goes down, what happens to your credit score?
It goes up.
It typically will go up, right? So that's kind of a side benefit to the Money Max. An increased credit score benefits you in many ways. First, you get better rates at your lender, and second, your insurance. Most states and your auto and homeowners, they run a credit score, and the lower the credit score, the higher your cost of insurance. The higher the credit score, the lower your cost of insurance. Most people don't know that, but it's true. Okay. What was the second part of the question, Karen?
We have defaulted on some of our credit cards already. Can we still qualify for the program?
Absolutely. 100%. We're not doing anything with, pulling your credit score to see. That's not part of the qualification process. That's not it. This is not, oh, you have to have a certain credit score to use the Money Max. That's not it. Because we have all walks of life, from very well-to-do to those that are struggling, and we can help across the board. So take heart. If you thought that this is what you're stuck with for the next 20, 30 years, you're not. You're just not. If you'll take the time to investigate and to get your personal savings report run, we can typically, and the only qualifier is, what does your financial structure look like? And there are some things that we look for. Well, when we get together and we capture that information and we show you, when we come back with a solution like you'll be debt free in 9.8 years, whatever that number is, that's guaranteed. That means it will happen as long as you do what? Remember, we talked about thinking and doing the way we've always done it got us here. Well, if we're going to do something different, we have to do something different to get out of here. And that something different is the Money Max account. But don't fret. You've got a whole training department that's going to be there with you every step of the way. You got a question, you pick up the phone and you ask. They're going to guide you through the onboarding and the utilization of the Money Max like nothing that you've seen before. Quick story, I had a question about a credit card in 2022. It was 15 years after I purchased the Money Max. I thought, I'll just send them an email and I'll hear back in 3 weeks. I heard back later that day. The answer came in the email. It made sense. Very good. And I got a call from Leslie in customer service. Mr. Blanchard, did you get the email? Yes, I did. Answer makes sense. Yes, it did. Do you have any other questions? No, I don't. I hadn't spent money with that company for 15 years. Who does that? We do. Because we take this very seriously. Our charge is buying back America one family at a time, and we want to start with your family.
A comment that came through. Christy,
Okay.
I hope you saw it when I sent it over to you. Said Christy, I did velocity banking for the first time today. Lots of exclamation marks. I felt like a little bird that had to get pushed out of the nest.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is that that's completely understandable. And, even being nervous about stepping into the Money Max is completely understandable. The point
100%.
is that it's new to your mind. You're walking into, it's kind of like, when it's really, really dark in a haunted house and you see that there's a walkway right there and you're like, I have to go that way because that's the way to get out. But I'm scared to death to step in to see what's going to jump out at me or whatever. And the reality is even in a haunted house, it's just a scare. It's just a false fear. So, what is fear? False evidence appearing real. And so because you're sit in a mindset that we've been raised in, is it just feels uncomfortable, and it's like there's no way this could be real, and what's going to happen, what's going to jump out to bite me, when really you're going to be absolutely the freest that you have ever felt in your life, and you're going to be able to love your kids again, and you're going to be able to watch them grow without keeping the second and the third job, without losing sleep at night over what you're going to do for money the next day. I don't want anybody to be there, and I'm super excited that you guys have taken the opportunity today to sit and listen to even another way that's even faster than using velocity banking. I can give you lines of credit all day long, but you know what? The fact is that Money Max is coming in and beating the time that we can do with a line of credit. So if you're serious about getting out of debt, this is the number one way to get out of debt. And I want to praise John Washington here just a minute for what he's done and why he's done it, because I feel like that he is the creator, and you all probably talked about him, but he has a heart to help people pay off their mortgages so that they don't lose their homes. You can't beat that. And when you see what he charges for this system, it's crazy. I've even mentioned it to him myself about, it's so affordable and it's doing so much. I just want to thank him if he's listening. Sometimes he's on here, sometimes he's not. But I just want to thank him for listening and for what he's done for the American people and all around the world. I just appreciate him. I appreciate the team again. I thank you for taking the time out of your day for everything that you guys are doing. I appreciate it so much. And I hope you all learned something here tonight. And you know what? Keep watching videos and keep learning and growing, and it only gets better. It only gets better from here. So tomorrow morning is the first day of the rest of your life, and I want you guys to go enjoy it. Okay? Everybody have a great night. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Miss Christy.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good night.
everyone.